Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Free Beer Friday. We have Carl and Jeremy of the Manhattan Project out of Dallas here with us today. How's it going?
It is going great.
Beautiful.
Actually,
Excited to be here.
Yeah, and we also have Ben Easley from the Bearded Monk.
How's it going?
Once again.
Hey out there. Hi, guys.
If you don't know, we always do a Free Beer Friday show, interview and slinging free beer samples here at the Welcome Center 7 till 8. And then afterwards, we have a Shotgun Friday after party.
There you go.
At the Bearded Monk off the square with Ben Easley and the beautiful Brewers. So please come by and check it out. So we're going to get started, and I want to know, how did you get started in the brewing business?
All right. So I'll go ahead and take this one if you don't mind. Because my wife, Misty, and I, Misty's one of our co-founders as well. So she handles all of our marketing and advertising.
And she is out here tonight.
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah.
She's hiding over there.
She's serving samples in the Welcome Center. There she is. She's waving at us. So yeah,
there we go.
So it was 2011, I believe. We were maybe even early 2011. We were planning our wedding because we weren't married yet, and we were just like really getting into craft beer, and we really wanted to have a custom beer for our wedding, which I hear now that that's what everyone's doing.
I've never heard anybody do that. I haven't, so I'm thoroughly impressed.
So I told stories the other day, and someone was like, "Oh, everyone does that now," but no. So we had the small wedding, like 35 people, and so we were like, "Hey, how cool would it be to have like a custom beer for our wedding that you could only get there?" And so we reached out to Jeremy. Jeremy was, doing the homebrew thing at the time, and we're like, "Hey, man, would you be interested in this?"
Right.
And he's like, "Yeah, you guys want to get together this weekend and talk about it?" And we said, "Well, the wedding's a year from now."
Mm-hmm. Oh,
He's like, "No, I know. I want to get together this weekend and talk about it." So we got together.
Planning a wedding is hard. Try planning a beer.
Planning a beer, right?
Yeah. So we're thinking, we holler at him, like a month before, and he does some. But Jeremy being Jeremy, for those people that don't know Jeremy, he's a very precise, very intricate, and that's kind of part of where the name comes from, which we'll get to that. But so he's like, "No, I want to start now. I want to make sure." And so we got together. We basically designed this beer from the ground up, from scratch, exactly what we wanted. And, it was tough because, it's a wedding. So you've got grandma, and then you've got, your college buddies, and you've got – so we got to,
different tastes.
Yeah. So we put together this, this kind of Belgian/American brown ale. And that was the first beer we ever did as a group. And it actually is still in our portfolio. It was one of our launch beers, and we call it Inception because it's the first beer that we
started everything.
Yeah.
It was our Inception.
Yeah.
Very good.
Kicked it up.
And so you're old friends, or you just knew each other through
Yeah,
breweries?
so I used to work with Jeremy's wife, and I think I'll take a little bit of credit of getting her into craft beer.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I think we were at a happy hour one time, and I said, "Well, maybe just try a Blue Moon or something." So that was the gateway.
That's what starts it.
that got her in.
That's
So
awesome.
So yeah, I'll take a small amount of
Yeah, there
small
you
amount
go.
of credit
It's always a Blue Moon or a Shiner, something just domestic enough.
Gets it going.
Yeah.
That's
how it was for me. It was Shiner.
just kind of get you off the rails of the kind of whatever it is you've been doing for 10 years or however long.
So I guess a double-sided question of what makes you brew the kind of beers that you want, because you have crazy names for a bunch of the brews that you have, and then with talking about how intricate and precise Jeremy is with how that ties into the name. The style of beer and the name.
So kind of to go back to the name, it was actually, before the wedding beer, before Inception, it was me and my wife, Jeremy and his wife. So Misty, co-founder, Gia is Jeremy's wife. We were in San Diego, and we were just doing a beer trip down there, and we were at Tornado. We were probably drinking Cantillon.
Cantillon, yeah.
Because we were like, oh my god.
Yes.
And I was just like, hey, it'd be a really cool name for a brewery, the Manhattan Project. I was like, think about all the cool nuclear and scientific
everything
and
that goes with
chemistry
it,
and everything that goes with it. Yeah, and so it just kind of became
Mm-hmm.
something that we talked about, right? We're like, it'd be another cool beer name, this or whatever it may be. And
We've
So then
never
we
even
did
thought about opening a brewery at this point.
Oh, no,
I
no,
mean,
no.
it was
This is like this is like somebody out there somewhere should go open a brewery and call it this. Little do we know it was going to be us,
they'll
right?
pay us for the ideas. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so it was, like maybe like a year or two later, we had done the wedding beer and we're like, that was fun. And the beer turned out amazing. I mean, like I said, it was one of the 4 beers that we launched with.
Right.
It came out a little bit after launch, but, we decided, like, hey, let's try another beer. So, we started making some more beers. And then we said, well, let's try this there's this amateur brew thing going on, right? Like Brew Right in
Brew Right.
Yeah, it's a festival in Bishop Arts in Oak Cliff. And they shut down the streets. They got like 65 home brewers, and it's a
Sounds
great,
amazing.
yeah,
It's a great party.
yeah.
Yeah,
Ben,
couple-
if you've been, it's pretty cool.
He's like, I've been.
A couple of the other local breweries got their start that way too. I mean, it's
Yeah, Four Corners went through there.
Oak Islands, yeah.
Okay, I think I was watching the show you did with Tups, and I
loved Tups.
I don't remember meeting
Oh,
Tups
so
back
fun.
then.
I don't either, yeah.
But I mean, we know him now, obviously,
Yeah.
Chris and the gang. But anyways, so it was our first year. We just kind of like showed up with like a tent and a table and some beer, and and we kind of like look around, and everybody else is like, everybody else has like all these signs and all this setup, and so.
Got a little bin with some ice and
Yeah, we literally have like a Tupperware
Yeah.
bin with ice in it. So we were like, okay, that's it. Next year we're gonna step it up, and and I think actually before that we had kind of talked about it. We were like, well, if we're gonna do this, we need a name.
Right.
You can't just do this without a name. So, so we said, well, we always talk about. The Manhattan Project would be a really cool name, and we have all the beers picked out, beer names picked out already, and it really fits our, like our personalities, and really fits kind of the approach at how we kind of design a beer and go about putting a beer out there.
Nobody knows about it.
Yeah, so the name, you've probably heard this story a bunch of times. I started amateur brewing. I picked a name. That's the name we stuck with, right? So, luckily, I think it's a great name for us. It works out well. Because, kind of back to your question, you asked, what is kind of how do we pick what we're gonna drink, right? And so we've talked about this, and we said, well, should we do this beer? Should we do that beer? Like, just as an example, should we do a lager? Well, honestly, none of us drink lagers. So, like, if we made a lager, we wouldn't really
You wouldn't be the
know
ones
if it was
drinking
good or not good. So kind of our guidepost on what beer we're going to make is really a beer that we're like. And not that – that's just kind of the only way that we know. If we make a beer that – is not within what we like, then how do we know if it's good or not?
That's kind of the beauty of craft brewers, though, is that, and it sounds so weird to say it, but it's like you're drinking the people who make it, like their personalities and who they are and where they come from. You're drinking like their story, which that's totally awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
There's
so
the art
I guess
side of it all, right?
I guess we're dry and hoppy, Jeremy.
dry and hoppy.
But you've won awards.
Sometimes
so
roasty.
you've won tons of local awards, though, for your brews. So
Yeah.
that's something.
That's it's awesome to that's kind of, once again, it was a hobby that started as a supplying beer for a wedding, something that'd be cool. Then it turned into like an amateur hobby, and then Jeremy and then of course, like, nothing's ever like good enough, so it's like, how do we like, the hops taste good, but how do we get them to taste better? And it's like, okay, we're going to start looking at pH and minerality and like all this stuff. And so he has I don't know if this is really, he has a nickname like on the homebrew scene and kind of the amateur scene. He's the hop whisperer.
Oh, that's cute.
Bring it out.
That's awesome.
So he knows how to like talk to those hops and get them to release their beauty into the beer.
That's great. Oh, I love it. Oh, Hop Whisperer. We should have introduced you as that. I don't know why we
yeah.
didn't.
Next time.
Next time. We got you next time. So what's next for the Manhattan Project? What do you have set your sights on goal-wise? Because you just opened your brewery this past October, didn't you?
It has been about 90 days.
About 90 days. That's impressive.
Yeah. So kind of to maybe fill in a little bit of the present to kind of talk about the future is we signed on with a distributor, Flood, Flood Distribution.
Right
They're
on.
a great shop. They have got a great portfolio, and we're just proud to be part of, like, we're like right next to Jester King and Blue Owl and Jolly Pumpkin and Cantillon. It's like I don't like, maybe were we invited on mistake by mistake? No, but it's awesome to to be part of that portfolio. So and that was kind of we really the product and kind of the brand, which to me the brand is about communicating to the consumer what you're all about. And so the product is the manifestation of what you're all about. The brand is the communication of that. So like to me, those are the two. That's what we do, right?
You sound like my textbooks right now.
Oh,
Like
do I?
really, you do. Yeah.
Sorry, am I like straight up like a marketing class or whatever?
No, like it's true. Though. It's true in form.
But I mean, Flood's been great because starting with a new brewery, like doing deliveries and trucks and warehouses and cold storage and I mean that's just they're very, very good at that. And we want to focus all of our efforts on the product and making sure that we're listening to the consumer and just making the best beer we can make and getting it out there. So
sweet. So beautiful. Well, everybody, you heard it here first. Manhattan Project. Thank you guys for being here. So please come on down to the Welcome Center. We do have free brews that they're going to be slinging out to you. And then be sure to talk with Carl and Jeremy and Ben at the Bearded Monk. 9 o'clock, 9:30?
Yeah. It'll take us a minute to get back over there, I'm
Here
sure.
30 o'clock,
There you
doesn't
go.
matter. Whenever you feel like it.
Come over later. We'll shotgun.
There you go.
Go party.
All right.
Oh, and Mindy Aaron showed up. Oh, what are you guys doing?
Oh, can I do something? Like, okay, so I watched some of these, and I'd never been here. I'd watched some of these on YouTube. I just want to give people the setting. Like, the street of, like, the square, like, right behind where the camera is, there's glass, and, like, there's just people out there, and they're, like, walking down, and then, like, right here is more glass, and, like, all the people in the Welcome Center. So for those of you who've only seen it on camera, it's pretty cool. You need to get down here and check it out in person. It's really awesome.
Do it. Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.